Hey guys, so another part in the shed series. We're building doors today. It's a little too cold to paint, so I'm gonna start with the side door here. We're in the shed now, and I'm gonna just use the floor in here since it's a nice, large, flat surface to help me build these doors. I've seen doors built a bunch of different ways. I've seen them built this way, right? With these laying down like this, and you can pocket hole screw these together, and it'll be nice and strong. The only thing I don't like about this is how thin the door is. Like, I'm not really concerned about the weight of the door. I feel like I have a little more strength building it this way here. Drill down on either of the outer holes here. And this is what you end up with, is these two nice pocket holes that you can basically toe screw into the side pieces here. All right, so we got our wood glue. I'm using this Tight Bond 2. I like this stuff. It's a little runny, but it works pretty well. Not going crazy, right? Just a little bit on here to help hold all of this together. All right, we're gonna do the opposite end, and then we'll measure down halfway, and we'll put the middle one in. All right, so I have the 1/2-inch spacers on the bottom. We have our door frame. We're gonna set it on top of that. We're gonna make sure that everything fits inside of here and has clearance. So we have plenty of clearance to allow that door to open. All right, so now our next step is to cut the paneling. All right, so I have my helper blocks in place here. We got our panel cut for the door. Top of our helper block. All right, we should fit in. I want to give you guys a little sneak peek at the back side here. So this is what it looks like with the T111, right? This is how we get a full seal on the shed to keep rodents out and whatnot. So that is why when I built it, I basically back cut, or I made sure I had about 1 inch reveal all the way around, and that allowed me to be able to make this almost like a flange that sits inside of that door opening. Hinges here, I think they'll look pretty decent on here. And what you want to make sure you do when you're installing the hinges, you want this pivot point directly over the center here. If you put it too far back, you're going to run the risk where the inside of the door jamb is going to hit itself. All right, so we got both of these doors installed. I'm gonna show you what I did here. So basically I just took a 1/2-inch sheathing here that I used on the roof, and I designed it so there was basically a 1/2-inch gap in between the doors and on the bottom and right sides. The top's a little bit closer because I think the sheathing's maybe just a smidge thicker than a 1/2 inch, but that's okay. I mean, we have clearance. And then I screwed in spacers on the bottom, so I flushed the frame of the bottom of the door to the face of the shed here. Same thing on like the door jamb here. And then on the top, on the inside here, if we go in, I just put these two little stop blocks here with some trim screws just to kind of hold everything in place here. Now, to determine where the panel needs to start, right, we want to match up our grooves on the existing siding on the shed. You can actually see, like I mentioned on the side door before, here's my overlap on the T111. So I actually want the T11 to come over, all, you know, basically to cover up this gap here, and then our trim, it will go over it. So as long as I can match this sheet up here, I should be good. So I'm gonna take a measurement of the door opening, basically top to bottom, and we will cut one piece to length and we'll give it a shot. All right, so we look pretty good with our spacing. I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna nail the top here, I'm gonna put a couple on the sides, and then we should be good to go to make our next panel. All right, so we're gonna get the trim on now that we got all of the paneling installed on here. All right, so we have our right side upright in. Now we're putting our left side in. We're gonna put our cross piece in next. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna use here now that I have the hinges on the door. And the door operates really well, actually. I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm gonna be using these to hold the left side door in. And these are made out of stainless steel. And you basically lift it up, cam it over, and it'll hold it up in place. So all I'm doing is I'm adding a little kind of helper block down here, something for this to bite into. So I'm not mounting it right on here. I'm actually gonna mount it over on this right here. All right, so we should be able to cam it up, lock it in place, and it should not hit the ground. To figure out where this needs to be, I'm just gonna hold the door shut all the way. I'm gonna put the pin down, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of trace around the pin on the ground. So let's close this. Look at that. So we're gonna do the same thing for the top. Okay. The door opens and shuts now. I can lock that one in. And then I can also lock this guy in. And that's all there is to it. Super simple. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to throw a like on the video, maybe subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss any of the other shed videos that are coming out and all the other DIY videos I put out every week. So thanks for watching again, guys. Until next time.